Alright, I'm going to make a video on how to take a push mask apart. I've seen people ask about it. I want a frame swap on these, so be a good opportunity to do so. Alright, so you start with, these are already off, but you would pull this gray part out, then you would slide the black part forward, and that'll release your strap from your lens on each side. Pop the lens out. Pretty sure you all know how to at least do the lens. This one is actually still hooked up. So you pull this gray part out, then you get in behind it, slide the black piece forward. Hear it click, pull it right out. Repeat that step on the other side. Take your lens out. Alright, what I like to do at this point is go ahead and take the strap out. So when I put it in, I usually put the long end in first. So when taking it out, I actually take the short end of the strap and push it through the top first. Make sure the gray part's closed on the black part too. That way it's a smaller profile going through your ears. Once you get it out of the ear, then you gotta take it out of the mask bottom itself. Same thing on this side. You can go long end first or short end first. I don't think it really matters. Alright, then what I'll do next is you pull back on this part right here. And you'll have to actually make it bend because it hooks in right here. So you're basically going to bend that enough to unhook that. Do the same thing on the other side. Unhook it. Once you pull that back, your ear is attached right here. Just slides in a little groove. You can pull that right out. Same with this side. Then I actually come up underneath and rotate one side at a time. So you actually rotate the mask back to you while pulling up on the foam. And it'll rotate right out of there. Then to take the top foam off, it's kind of like starting the bottom foam. You got to pry back. It hooks in right here, and this actually holds this piece of the bottom onto the frame. Let's take that out. Just rotate it right out. Now where that was held in, I usually just pull that out, come down to the edge of the frame right here, and rotate this to undo that tab. Repeat that step on the other side. So I kind of pull back and rotate. Make sure this is kind of coming up pretty good, because that actually does have to line up in this groove while taking it apart and putting it back together. And you rotate. I usually push here. That's why they call it a push. You got to push on it. Not as much pushing effort required as a JT ProFlex. So now this one, I'm actually going to leave everything on this one. Just to do a frame swap, I can actually get away with taking the bottom foam off. Rotate that out. And then, yeah, I gotta take the top out too. That's right. So you remove the foam, pull this piece back, rotate it. Pull this piece out, pull it back, rotate it. Come down here. It should pretty much, the more you do it, the easier they are to come apart, obviously. Every time wear takes care of it. Now, when reinstalling the frames, you want to line the nose up first. Once you line that piece up, try pushing down on one side or the other to see if it'll go ahead and lock in. Like that side went ahead and locked in. Sometimes they can be difficult. Make sure that this groove is lining up with your bottoms with the frames, because there is a groove there where it perfectly goes in place. See, once you line that up, it went right in. Then you want to rotate this around to hook back on here. Same with the other side. Now once you've done that, you can actually put your foam back in. Make sure when you put it back in that you hook your bottoms with your frames using the foam right here. Make sure that actually locks in. And I will point out that there's hooks on the foam, so make sure that the hooks are facing down to hook into the frames themselves. Put that in, hook them in, and squeeze that in there. So there, the top foam's in, and now your bottoms are on your frames. That's all it really takes to hold all that together. Put the bottom foam back in. When I do that, I usually try to line a screw up with the hole in the nose. It's a nice guide to get things on track. Then the hook is actually going to hook in on your first hole here. So rotate that one in. Do the same with the other side. Now I wouldn't hook these back in yet till you have your ears installed. I'm not putting these ears back on that mast, so. Put the whites back on the clears. Same thing again, line the nose up. Make sure that that groove with the frame and the bottoms is lined up. Snap right in. Same with the other side. Make sure it's lined up. Push it together. Rotate, hook the frame. Rotate the bottoms on the other side and hook the frame. Take your top foam, hooks down. I usually start one side. Again, make sure that it hooks to the bottoms and the frame. See, then it won't come apart. Again, for the bottom foam, line the nose up, the bolt hole lined up, one side at a time. Rotate it in. This part can be very difficult too for your first couple times till you get the hang of it. Now when you rotate that in, you're going to want to hook up your ear again. And you take the slot on the ear, and slide it over the piece on the foam. Then you're going to want to hook that back into here. Same with the other side. And there you go. Put your lens and strap back in, you're good to go.